much waste is produced daily in Hong Kong? According to the data collected by the Environmental Protection Department, 5.67 million tons of solid waste is disposed in 2021, with nearly 45% of domestic waste, which is produced by households. The amount even increases every year. With other evidence, like the saturation of the free landfills and the fully filled rubbish bins, we can see that the waste problem is affecting our environment and living standard, and we should do something to resolve this problem. The easiest way to start must be reducing waste at home. To determine ways to reduce our output of waste, we must first investigate the amount and the composition of waste produced by Hong Kong households.
In order to obtain the data we need, we decided to do an experiment and interview. Thanks to the interviewees, we may acquire the following information: the frequency of people throwing rubbish, the amount of trash, the largest proportion of waste, and the habit of recycling. Eventually, we will analyze the data and see what it reflects.
How many bags of domestic waste do you produce per day?
About one.
1/5 bags.
About half a bag.
How much does it weigh?
In total, in a day I produce 192 grams of waste.
Maybe 100 grams.
And I think it is 0.8 kilogram.
Which type of the waste has the largest proportion?
Food waste.
I think it is food waste.
I think it is plastic.
And the last question, do you recycle?
Yes, mainly paper.
Yes.
I seldom do it.
According to the interview, we found that Hong Kong people usually throw 1 bag of rubbish per day and 0.5 kg per bag in average. Most of the rubbish are packaging and food. Also, most of the people do not have the habit of recycling.
To investigate the average amount of domestic waste produced weekly, we measured and collected the weight of household waste for 7 consecutive days of 4 different sizes of households in the range of 3 to 6. The results of waste collected ranged from 2.4 kg to 13.8 kg. After calculating how much rubbish is produced per person per day, the least amount of waste produced was 0.1 kg, and the greatest amount was 0.4 kg. According to the research conducted by the Hong Kong SAR in 2020, each person in Hong Kong produced 0.91 kg of domestic waste per day. By comparing our data to the research, the amount of household garbage we generated is less than the average number in Hong Kong. It shows that the consciousness of reducing household waste production is higher in our society than in past years. Nevertheless, landfills in Hong Kong are still under tremendous pressure. Around 15,600 tons of solid waste end up in landfills each day in Hong Kong, which is similar to the total weight of 1,043 double-decker buses, in which municipal solid waste owns the most significant portion of the chart. Why don't we begin to stop the waste from rushing into landfills now?
To achieve this, we should think of ways of creating less rubbish. The most direct and easiest way is to only buy what you need but not what you want. People sometimes buy a lot of unnecessary things, like a excess amount of food, and throw them away because they are expired. We should think twice before buying in order to reduce waste at source.
So instead, the 4 hours principle is also a good practice for us to follow. 4 hours stand for reducing, replacing, recycling, and reusing. For reducing, we can say no to disposable tableware and have a plastic-free takeaway. For replacing, we can use our own box for takeaways instead of using the styrofoam box. Also, we can replace the disposable straw by using reusable straw. For recycling, we can separate the recyclable materials like plastic, paper, metal, and glass from our daily waste and recycle them by putting them into recycling bins after cleaning.
Lastly, We can reuse the plastic bags and boxes we get from wet market or restaurant as trash bag or lunch boxes. By following the above practices, we can reduce our daily waste and help resolve the waste problem, which is affecting the whole world.
So, let's act together to reduce waste and save our world.